Hello, everybody. This is episode 2 of my AAR pre-war turn 1. And there's some things I wanted to cover that I didn't quite get to in the first one concerning production and resources and supply. Because when you look at some of the numbers, you ask yourself, what's the problem? Because there's so much stuff in the stockpiles, right? Well, actually, Japan at the start has a deficit in things. We produce 24,275 supply a day in our light industry and heavy industry and refineries. We get two supply from each heavy industry, one from each light industry, and one from each refinery, right? Light industry consumes 140,100 resources a day. Heavy industry consumes 139,000 resources a day. Heavy industry consumes 9,315. I'll take that back. Heavy industry consumes 13,900 fuel per day. Our refineries produce 9,315 fuel per day. You see the problem? We're operating at almost a 5,000 points per day deficit. That's true in we got 20,000 fuel in our refineries in a stockpile, and we got 3 million oil, but we only convert 9,000 a day. So, we actually need to capture oil and refineries. We don't need resources so much. We have a pretty good, a decent amount of resource centers. But oil and refineries are the problem. And heavy industry, to give you a hint on how important heavy industry is, producing 440 something aircraft a day, right? Each one of them takes 18 heavy industry, or about 9,000 heavy industry a day. And how many points are we producing? 13,900. So there's not, you know, at least 4,000 for everything else. So every upgrade costs heavy industry. So we don't have a lot of room to be playing around. Now, we know how many refineries we have. We know there's these 300 down here. And the odds are we're not going to capture them intact. They're probably, most of the times in the old game, whenever I captured Lipton, it was always destroyed. And over here, of course, we have, look at that, 1,000. We want that one. Oil's important, but the refineries are the big deal. How many refineries can we get? 1,300? Has Brunei got one? Nope. I have to know where all the refineries that we don't control are, because those are the things we want. What we got up here in Burma? Anything worth having a cow over? A refinery 200, Rangoon. Lots of luck getting that thing intact and operating before it gets the crap bombed out of it. What's decent bomber range? You figure 25 hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we got to be up in India in order to protect it from air attack. So, even though there's refineries there, getting it to do anything for us is going to be very difficult. And I don't think you can expand a refinery. Whoops, wrong one. Can we expand refineries? Okay, well that takes some of the pressure off. I think that expanding refineries and heavy industry is going to get more attention than expanding aircraft production and engines. Because we're starting this war, which is a game to us, and the real prize is Palembang. That's 9,000 fuel a day, which would make up for our deficit. But we can't expand heavy industry until we expand the refineries. So I think refineries are our number one thing to expand. That's just something for. I know people like to look at building engines and R&D and aircraft, but they have to really look at their. We're not fighting the war to build more airplanes. We're fighting the war to get more oil and refineries. So I went around and changed all these bases to make sure I'd caught them as far as their supply. And before we go to China, let's start up the north here and look at our. All right, this place produces. Each oil point produces 10 oil, I think. So this place will produce 300 oil a day. Let me verify that. I don't want to lie to you. All the operations we're going to do are secondary if our economy is going to collapse, even if we're winning. Oil centers. 10 points that go into storage at that location. Okay, so that's 300 oil per day are 9,000 a month. So we need tankers. We need tankers capable of hauling 9,000 per month to be assigned to this place. It has no ships in port. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, roughly 16 hexes from the port we're going to drop it off in. So we need 9K worth of tankers at Aminato here. Let's see where our tankers are at. I'm not really interested. I don't want too big. And for someplace that small and close, they don't have to be fast. Well, 6 of these would be 7,000. 7 of them would be enough. So we got to round up 7 of these little suckers for up there. Now let's see how many we got in the tankers. We got a tanker here. Nope. Tanker here. Nope. But you get the picture. This is how you have to do the stuff. Find out what it produces per month and have something that's able to haul it away per month. AO, those are the same as tankers. One of the little ones we want is already there. These big ones are probably going to be sent. There's 300,000 oil in Port Arthur already. And these factories that do the heavy industry need fuel. And I don't think there's any refineries in Manchuria. Well, there's a little refinery in Port Arthur. That's excellent. So a refinery needs 10 oil per day and produces 9 fuel and 1 supply. So that refinery will produce, oh, I'm sorry, 180 plus 9, 1080 fuel per day. And we have lots of fuel, and where are the other heavy industries up here? I'm just trying to figure out how much excess there's going to be. Mukden has 100, so it's going to want 200 fuel per day. It's got 20, so it's going to want 200. So that's 240. Is Changchun in China, or is it in... It's over here too. That's another 40, so it's 280. Well, anyway, Port Arthur's going to have excess fuel. That's fine. But I don't think there's any oil in. How much oil are we getting? I don't know if any of these places are... Where's it at? It should be have a white line around. Where's Fushan? Fusan. Doo-doo-doo-doo. It's an airfield and a base. Oh, at the bottom of Korea, okay. And it's... I thought it said it produced oil. Nope. Oh, that's the wrong place. Fushun, okay. Duh. All these names, they all sound alike to me. Fushun. I'm not seeing it. It says it's an airfield. Well, I'll be editing this thing, won't I? Where is Fushun? 105.42, but when you hold a mouse over, you can't get in there. Oh, there it is. Okay. 5 oil. Okay. So it produces 50. Oh, 55. So 550 minus 55. Oh, no, sorry. It produces 550 oil a day. Which when we take it to the refinery in Port Arthur, And it should go 550 oil a day. That'll use up 55, so we still have a shortage of 65. We need 650 oil a day to brought to Port Arthur to keep that refinery running. So we can haul the fuel out of Port Arthur. We cannot haul the oil out of Port Arthur. There's a lot there, but it's going to burn it up real quick. That's important to remember. There's no sense hauling oil to Japan. You haul it to the refineries. Okay, we got lots of refineries in Japan, thank goodness. That's not right. I thought... Did I get something backwards here? We got 1,035 refineries, right? Or... Yeah, we produce 2,240 oil a day, but we burn up that. All right, let me go back here. Recompute this. Okay, we got 1,035. Each one of them wants 10 oil a day. 10,350. And we produce 2,240. So we're short. We're short. We need oil. And refineries. Oh, so I think we're pretty much set that we'll look to Japan and this place as fast as we can. Oh, Miri has oil in a refinery. Oh, Brunei ain't worth doodly poop. There's a refinery in Tarakan. That's good. And this whole area over here is like, if we want that, because that's the good one right there. I'm not really worried about these little oil ones. I mean, I am, but Medellin, okay, yes. So that brings us to why we're in a hurry for Singapore. You can't get up here until you have Singapore. I don't think any of these places are... No, they're just in the way. So that's why Singapore, Luzon, and Mindanao have to be taken as rapidly as possible just to provide the air cover to get over for what we want. Now we can run across here and grab Miri, no problem. But you're not going to get nothing out of it until the enemy airfields are taken. Otherwise, they'll just bomb the crap out of your stuff. There's a little refinery in Bangkok. That'll just make enough fuel to run their heavy industry. See, there's 40 heavy industry. They want 80 fuel a day. And we have 20 refineries. We'll make 180 a day. So just a little bit of excess. But it's basically, Bangkok just wants oil and resources. Because it has a heavy industry that's 20 resources a day. That's 400. And light is 15. That's 1,200. and it produces 200. But there's probably stuff we can collect from around the area. So you can see we're in a hurry. We can't mess around. We gotta get that oil and those refineries. Well, this will just be a short one then. We'll work on our shipping so I don't make this a long video. The next video will be nothing but figuring out where boats are at, where the ships are at, and where they're going to go. Take care.